I just watched Teen Titans Go. Oh my god. If you read any of my blog posts, my written stuff, then you know that I had very, very low expectations for this show. My main problem was it's too cartoony, it's not going to have any kind of dramatic weight. It's fine. I set the bar, basement level for this one, and watching it today, I expected to be underwhelmed by this show. I expected to be annoyed. I did not expect to be offended. Just insulted by this show. Okay, I know that I can see you hunching over your keyboard, getting ready to type about how this is just a kid's show and I should let it go. So we're going to start with what makes it wrong, or what makes it bad in its own right. Just ignoring that the original run ever happened. Why does this show fail as its own thing? Number one, the jokes don't work. The jokes aren't funny. Okay? And even if they are kind of funny, they're not developed to any extent. The episodes I watched today were where Robin gets his driver's license revoked because he crashed the Batmobile. And one where Raven's father just comes to visit, which I'll get to because that one... Okay, but anyway. In the first one, Cyborg's backing up his data, and Robin yanks him away to drive him somewhere, and it says data lost. In the entire episode, he doesn't recognize Starfire because, data's lost. But it doesn't really go anywhere with it. It'll randomly cut to him looking at Starfire going, "Who are you?" And that's it. That's the entirety of the joke. And then he just gets bonked on the head by a tire, and he remembers again. There's a start of a joke there, but it doesn't. There's no consequence, and nothing ever comes of it. So why do we care? Second, another joke that this one didn't even work at any level was that all the Titans were granted new powers, and Cyborg was granted the power of his hand being a dog. Am I high? How... Hand is dog. I don't... Buy a dog. I don't just... It's dumb. It's not funny, and it's just dumb. I don't understand how these jokes are supposed to work. The second problem is that the pacing is just god-awful. Really, really bad. And that again ties into why the jokes can't develop, because the pacing is so terrible. The first episode I saw where Robin's trying to get his driver's license, he finds a guy on the internet who says he's a driver's ed instructor and get him his license back. First off, why would you even look for that on the internet? Why wouldn't you go to the DMV? Insanity. But, the guy on the internet is, of course, a scam. He's actually using Robin as a getaway driver. He robs a bank, and then he jumps in the car. He throws the stolen money or whatever in the back of the car, then gets to the front and goes, "Okay, now I'm going to have to ask you to merge into traffic here and try to go a little faster." And it's not like, they're getting away before the cops show up. There are legions of cops behind them, shooting at them, and Robin just, "Nope, don't do it." And it's... At first you think it's really dumb, because, it's a station wagon. Robin can clearly see the money. Sorry, the phone rang and it was a robot, so that's always fun. Where was I? Right, first off, this giant sack of money is inches from the back of Robin's head. He has police cars blowing behind him. He seems totally oblivious. So first off, you've just turned Robin, arguably one of the most competent characters in the Teen Titans history, into a freaking idiot. At least you think so at first. Then at the end of the episode, the guy admits it to him, or the guy says, "Ha, I've been using you this whole time," and Robin just goes, "Oh, I know," and just allows something, completely awful to happen to the guy. He actually, like, earlier in the episode, Raven accidentally releases this demon, and this demon literally drags this guy to hell, and Robin just like, ha ha, I knew the whole time. Well, then why were you letting him get away with all the previous robberies? When you get to that reveal, like, okay, watching it up to that point, you think this is really dumb. After learning that reveal, you go, this is really dumb. Because, what was the point? What was the point of continuously, helping this guy escape after robberies if you knew the whole time? Like, what? It makes no sense. Like, the joke doesn't even work in the parameters of itself. It's just, oh my god. So the jokes don't work, and that ending is just so sudden. Like, there's no climax. There's kind of a build-up, because the other Titans are trying to warn him, but he's like, oh, and this is when I get to perhaps prove that I'm the best driver here, and he leads it through this big car chase. But there's no climax. It just ends, because the show's pacing is awful. It's just abysmal. And my biggest problem with this show, just as its own thing, is why does it need to be a Teen Titans show? Like, okay, somebody gets their driver's license revoked, they have to get it back, they make a dumb decision, and hijinks ensue. And, one of the things that the producers were very clear on when they started this was, it's not going to focus on them battling monsters. It's not going to focus on the fighting. Well, then why is it a superhero cartoon? You've made Justice Friends, that Dexter's Lab short. You've made that, only it's a show now. Which, Justice Friends could have worked, because, their entire purpose is comedic, but there is no reason that any of these conflicts need to feature the Teen Titans. There's no reason. Like, at least I don't come to a superhero show for this kind of thing. That's not why I watch it. I watch, if I want to see that kind of humor, I'll watch a sitcom. That's not, you're trying to fill the wrong niche. But now that I've kind of gone over why this fails as its own thing, I know that, some of you are still waiting for me to get into why it fails as a continuation of the old series. And that's kind of what it was advertised as. It was all, Teen Titans is coming back, it's coming back. Yeah, it's going to be different, but it's coming back. It is so offensive to anyone who liked the former show. It is just insultingly bad. Because, okay, this is what I think makes a great TV show. Be it a cartoon for kids, be it anything. There has to be some semblance of dramatic weight. Like, okay, like I said before, if it's a sitcom, fine. If Seinfeld obviously had no dramatic weight, but it was actually funny. It had clever writing on its side. And this show obviously doesn't. There's no... Any clever writer was thrown out of a freaking window, but, This show has absolute... Okay, original run, you had the episode where Robin's hallucinating that Slade is back. And it's a hallucination, but it is so real to him that it is literally killing him. And pretty frickin' graphically, too. Like, that got real. And, those are the moments that really drew you into that old show. And this is so... I don't even know. I don't have words. I have a degree in having words, and I don't have words for this. Could this series work in any... It could work as, 5-minute internet shorts. Or maybe one of those really short things that Cartoon Network used to kind of show in commercials or in between things. I guess it could work in one of those. Because trying to stretch out to this degree is just awful. And, okay, the second episode, the one where Trigon comes to visit. Trigon. For those of you who don't know, Trigon is he is one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. He's Raven's father. It is not a small deal when Trigon shows up, because he is supposedly locked in another dimension, and should he come here, he will basically start the apocalypse. Like, that was a season-long arc in the original series, was that Trigon was coming, he was going to use Raven to get into this dimension, and he was going to destroy the world and enslave any survivors. Like, no joke. And that's, that's what Trigon is in the comics, that's what Trigon always is. Here, he shows up, I kid you not, in a pink sweater vest, trying to reconnect with Raven, and, it... And here's the thing, like, when Raven says, my father Trigon, the other time's like, oh my god, Trigon, he's destroyer of dimensions and slaver of races, and they're kind of freaking out about it. And then he shows up. Okay, the premise is that Trigon wants to show up to try to convince Raven to fulfill her demonic heritage. And, Raven's not having any of it, but so he tries to win over the other Titans. No! No! Oh my god. Okay. They know what he's done. They know this is a bad dude, but he comes over, he grants them powers, he acts like a normal dad, is what he goes for. And the other time's like, oh Raven, you got it all wrong. Your dad's not that terrible. Are you serious? You know he enslaves races and destroys planets. And it's dumb. It's so dumb. It's dumb, and it's an insult to anyone who liked the old series, who liked anything Teen Titans. Oh my god! But again, there are people out there. I can see you now, getting ready to type out how it's just a kid show. I need to calm down. It is a kid show. You're totally right. It shouldn't be. It should not be a show for kids this young, because it was not kids that young who caused them to bring it back. It was not kids who are 7 and 8-year-olds today who liked the old series so much that they saw profit in bringing it back. They are targeting it towards the demographic that didn't demand it come back. The people who liked it, the people who started petitions to bring it back, those would be people more like my age, maybe a little younger. Maybe. It's dumb. I know I keep coming back to say that, but it's so dumb. They brought it back because the old series was popular. But they have no understanding of why the old series was so popular. Like, I think they just played the old series kind of in the background while they were doing other things, and the only thing that stuck out to them was that theme song, which was my least favorite part of the old series. Like, oh, it's bouncy and funny and it's comedic, and that's why people liked it. No, that's not why people liked it. That I'm certainly, it'll count as better written and better paced for, the most part in the last series, and it had silly episodes, but those are breather episodes between when things got really intense. And here, it's an entire show about filler, and maybe that could be cleverly done somehow, but they don't do it here. Here, it's painful. It hurt me to watch that here. I don't know what else to say about this show. I wasn't even this mad about Superhero Squad. Like, because Avengers wasn't something that I was super into as like a kid or when I was younger, but I really liked the Teen Titans show. And I liked it for its humor, yes, but I liked it for its dark moments and the gravitas that it could have. And when shit got real, you were like, oh man, shit just got real. Here, it's fluff. It is insubstantial fluff. And I don't know. It needs to be a 5-minute short. It needs to be like a filler thing between it, or not exist at all. And I know that I haven't dissuaded you, guy who's ready to remind me that it's just a kid show and I need to calm down. But they don't get point? It's like, okay, hypothetical guy. Imagine if they remade Call of Duty. But this Call of Duty